cause of justice, love, and peace. And because of the purity of their intention and purity of their heart, that is why it is one of the main reasons that they have got the Nobel Peace Prize. It is not an ordinary prize. It is a prize done after a lot of research, a lot of commitment and dedication. So it is an honor for us that you are over here. And I thank you for gracing the occasion of this summit. And this is the first summit. And if things go as planned, it is the start of our I Am Peacekeeper movement. I would like to instruct the console at the back that in this session, there is no time limit. There is no time limit. I will be asking only one question to every Nobel Peace Laureate, and there is no time limit for this session. So please do not ring the bell. And if the bell is rung by mistake, please ignore it, and I seek your forgiveness for that. But do not ring the bell. I have only one question for all of them. What is the work of your life? And what is the purpose of your work of your life? And which either led you to the Nobel Peace Prize, or what is the work of your life from now on you want to do? So the question I'll repeat is, what is the work of your life that you were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? Number one. And what is the future work of your life which you wish to carry on? So that is the only question which I will be asking them. And I request His Honorable and Excellency, we will start on the left with Mr. Abdul Sattar bin Musa. I request you to answer this question.
شكرا سيد الرئيس على هذا السؤال القيم.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this question.
منذ الحركة الطلابية
Since the students' movement,
انطلقنا في الدفاع عن الحريات
we have
وحقوق
moved
الإنسان.
to defend the freedoms and the rights of people, human rights. We looked at oppression, at corruption.
قمنا بها.
We have done so many demonstrations.
وكنت أتمنى منذ صغري أن
I was
ألتحق بمهنة
always
المحاماة.
looking to work as a lawyer.
هذه المهنة التي عاشقها
This job
الأدباء والزعماء.
that the presidents and the leaders liked.
ولما التحقت بمهنة المحاماة كنت دوما
And when I became a leader, I was always
عن المظلومين
defending the oppressed.
وإلى أن تحصلت في انتخابات
Until I won an election
على العمادة.
to be a leader of a group.
نظرنا خلال تلك الفترة ضد الاستبداد وضد الفساد.
And we looked at how to fight the oppression.
وإثر الثورة متاع 2011 في تونس.
And during the revolution in Tunisia in 2011,
ترشحت إلى رئاسة الرابطة التونسية.
I was nominated to lead the Tunisian Association for Human Rights Defense.
أول رابطة في أفريقيا
And
وفي
this is
العالم العربي.
the first association in Africa and the Arab world.
تأسست سنة 77.
It was established in 1977.
وكانت تدافع عن حقوق
And it was
المرأة
defending the rights for women
وحقوق الأطفال
and the children's rights
وحقوق الإنسان بصفة
and
عامة.
human rights in general.
ثم بعد ذلك
After that,
ما حدث من
because
بلادنا من
of what
اغتيالات
happened in our country from assassinations,
ومحاولة على الانقلاب
assassinations
على
and
الثورة.
trying to fail the revolution.
يعني كونا الرباعي الراعي للحوار.
We created the quartet for dialogue.
أجرينا حوارا
We done a dialogue,
وطنيا
national one,
لمدة عدة سنوات.
for a period of many years
أفرز خارطة طريق
that has led to a roadmap,
وخلص البلاد
and it took the country
من الاستبداد
from the oppression,
وأدى إلى دستور ديمقراطي
led to a democratic constitution
لأول مرة
for the first time
تضمن
that
حرية الضمير.
included the conscience freedom.
وسنواصل في طريقنا. لا
And
أريد أن أحتكر الكلمة.
we will continue in our efforts.
لأترك لزملائي التحدث.
And
في
I
هذا
will leave
المجال.
also the floor to my colleagues to express as well.
لكن نقسم
But we
بأن نواصل الدفاع
promise
عن حقوق الإنسان.
that we will continue defending the human rights,
كلفنا ذلك ما كلفنا.
no matter how much it will cost us.
واسمحوا لي
And allow me
لقد أعددت I write a poem, little poem in Arabic. It is translate. Poem about peace. Peace is it is true or utopia. إن السلام حقيقة سراب والعدل مجمرة اللهيب الخابي. لا عدل إلا إذا تعادلت القوى وأزيلت أسلحة الخراب. لا عدل ولا سلام إلا بقضاء مستقل عن الحكام والمال والأحزاب. لا سلام إلا بنشر القيم لدى الصغار والكبار والشباب. لا سلام إلا بنشر القيم لدى التلاميذ والعمال والطلاب. لا سلام ولا عدل إلا بزرع المحبة في القلوب وفي الألباب.
Minds and hearts.
لا عدل ولا سلام إلا
No peace,
بقادة.
no justice without leaders.
لا عدل ولا سلام إلا بقادة شيمهم إخلاص العمل
values
وصدق الخطاب.
are good work and discourse.
يحترمون
Who
الشعب في كل أمر
respect people in all matters
ويحكمون
and
بالعدل والرأي
rule
الصواب.
fairly and wisely.
لا سلام ولا
No
عدل إلا
peace, no
بثقافة
justice without a culture
ضد العنصرية
against discrimination,
والعنف والإرهاب.
killing and terrorism.
كل ذا يستوجب نشر وعي
We must all spread awareness
بأهمية القيم
values, importance
لتخطي الصعاب.
to overcome all challenges.
إن ذا عصر ظلمة غير أني
Darkness shall prevail
بالإمكان رفع
unless
الحواجز
we remove
وفتح
all
الأبواب.
the obstacles and open all the
لينبلج
doors
الصبح
so that shining morning
مكان الظلام
and the promising morning shall replace
ويغمر
darkness
السلام
and peace
كل الروابي.
prevails everywhere.
Thank you very much.
So, thank you, Honorable His Excellency, for this lovely message that you have sent to the world about the great work of your life. We go to the next, Honorable Hussein Abbasi, the Nobel Peace Laureate 2015. What is the work of your life which you are awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, or what is the future work that you are planning to do?
شكرا دكتور حذيمة.
Thank you, Dr. Hudhaifa.
وفي الحقيقة
In fact,
ذكر الأعمال التي قمت بها
all what I did
في حياتي
in my life,
بدءا من الصغر
starting as a child
وصولا إلى الحصول على جائزة
and
نوبل
reaching
للسلام
the winning of the Nobel Prize,
لا يمكن لا حصرها ولا الحديث عليها
are
في
a
بداية اللقاء.
lot that I cannot talk about all of them.
ولكن أقول
However, I would like to say that
نشأت وتربيت في
I
عائلة فقيرة
rose in a poor family,
وكان هدفي
and my
أن تتحقق
ultimate
العدالة
purpose
الاجتماعية
that
في
the
عالم
social
الكون.
justice will be achieved all over the world.
وفي الحقيقة هذا
And
الحلم
in
أتى
fact,
بعد
this
أن كبرت.
dream came after I got adult.
ولكن في صغري
But
كنت
during my
أتمنى
childhood, I used to hope
أن يتحقق العدل الاجتماعي في
that
القرية بالذات
social
التي أقوم
justice
بها.
will be realized in the village where I live.
وبقي كنبراس
And it became as a beacon
يتعايش معي
living with me
في كل لحظة
in
وفي كل
every
دقيقة
moment and in every minute.
إلى أن بعد أن
Until
أكملت
when
دراستي
I finished my schooling and education,
اشتغلت
I
بالتعليم
worked
الأساسي
in the
للأطفال.
principal education for the children,
ولكن كان لا يتزحزح من ذهني
but I could not leave any more
العمل الاجتماعي
the social work,
والدفاع عن
and
الضعفاء والفقراء والغلابة.
advocating and defending the poor people and the helpless people also.
لذلك انخرطت منذ بداية
That's why
حياتي
I involved since my
في
beginning of my life in
العمل النقابي.
the labor of
والعمل
bars,
النقابي معروف يدافع عن
and
حقوق
the
الأجراء
bar work is known as defending the
المادية والاجتماعية والاقتصادية.
economic and material rights. This is the work of the union, the labor union, I mean.
وانطلقت في هذه الرحلة
started in this journey
إلى أن وصلت إلى
until
أن
I
أكون الأمين
reached
العام
to be the
لأكبر منظمة
Secretary General
نقابية
for the biggest
في العالم
union
العربي وفي
organization
إفريقيا
in the Arab world and Africa as well,
ولا زالت إلى الآن.
and it is still until now as it
هذا
is.
الهاجس اللي هو تحقيق العدالة
This
الاجتماعية
thinking
والأمن والسلم
to,
والسلام
to realize justice, peace and love globally
بقي يلاحقني.
remained in my mind and my obsession.
فلما عاشت بلدي
When my country, Tunisia, lived
فترة الانقسامات
a period of divisions
والخصومات
and conflicts
بعد الثورة مباشرة،
immediately after the Tunisian revolution,
وظهرت أطراف لا علاقة لها بالثورة
many
إطلاقاً
parties emerged which were not relevant to the revolution anymore,
للانقضاض على الثورة لاكتساب
To
المكاسب.
jump over the revolution for the
والمناصب.
winnings and the positions.
ولكن
However,
ما فعلوا شيئا للبلد
they did not do anything important for the
بل
country,
دفعوه
but they
إلى
drove
خصومات
it to
ومعارك
more
جانبية
conflicts and more battles
لا تنفع لا الإنسانية
which are not good for humanity
ولا الاقتصاد
or economy
ولا البلد بشكل عام،
and the country anymore,
إلى أن وصل
until
معناها العنف في البلد
the conflict in the country reached
انتقل من عنف لفظي بداية
or transmitted from verbal
إلى عنف
conflict
مادي.
into physical conflict.
ولكن انفجرت البلاد
But the
لما
country
أصبحت هناك
exploded
اغتيالات
when there were assassinations
في صفوف السياسيين
in the lines of
وفي
politicians
صفوف الأمنيين
and the security people
وفي صفوف
and
معناها العسكريين.
the military people.
جاءتني الفكرة بداية
I had an idea initially
لا يمكن أن
that
نوحد
we
بين
cannot
شعب بدأت تنفره
unite
المشاكل
the nation or the people with the problems that make
إلا
him
بتوحيد جهود
weak
بعض
unless
المكونات
we
المجتمع
unite
المدني
all the efforts of the civil
وحدها
society
بوحدتها
so that its unity will give a lesson to the others, particularly for the politicians,
أن ننسى خلافاتنا
to
جانبا
forget about our divisions and conflicts and unite for defending our country
والابتعاد به
and keeping
من الخصومات
it
والمشاكل
away from
الجانبية
conflicts
إلى ما
and
ينفع الناس.
to what benefits people and the country as well.
قد تتذكروا مدام
You
بوشماوي
might remember Madame Bouchraoui, who is here also, and I would like to consider her a
لأنها رغم الضغوطات التي سلطت عليها
steel woman in Tunisia, despite
من
the
كل جانب
pressure
ومن حب وصوب
from everywhere that affected her or directed her to keep her away from dialogue, but she refused and she remained steadfast to become with the Quadrilateral Committee from the beginning to the end.
طلبت منها أن نلتقي
I asked her to meet,
وهذا الأمر
and
تقريبا لا
this
يعرفه إلا قلة من
maybe
عامة الناس.
some people knew it from the public.
يعرفه من كان نقابيا
People who were in the unions
ونحن بيننا
know
زعيم
it, and
وأجبل
among
زهونا.
us, Mr. Saeed is among us also.
تعرفه أصحاب العمل وأرباب العمل
The
وأنت من
labor
بينهم.
people and the employees know it, and you are among them, and among of them are many, by the way.
فقلت لها لما
So
لا
I
نعطي
told her,
درساً
why cannot we give a lesson
للعمال
to the
ورؤوس
laborers
الأموال
and the
على
capital
التحابب
people to
والتآخي
love each other and to establish fraternal relationships so that the capital will work for winning
ولكنهم في مناسبة
and
في مؤسسة واحدة
in the same institutions to realize the well-being for the public and all. Why are these conflicts here? Why are these strikes and dialogues that reached hundreds and thousands for issues that can be overcome by dialogue only. So she did not hesitate, and she responded to me immediately. And from that point, we gave a lesson to a lot of unions how to dialogue between the social parties without lodging to the mediation by the government or other parties. And we led negotiations. And in the Tunisian legislations, as we know, you cannot make a resolution without the authority. So we talked to the Minister of Social Affairs in Tunisia and asked him for a meeting to agree. He said, you did not make a dialogue and you did not negotiate. So what will you negotiate about? We told him we had negotiations and we finished. And we are required by law to be present with us only if you like. And we will be thankful for you if you will meet with us and be present. And it happened. And I said at that time, why not make it a lesson to give it to the politicians so that no conflict between the people and the employees, the laborers and the employees. For Tunisia, they united to establish peace and dialogue. And we have also other bonds to the unions I affiliate to, like, for example, the lawyers' deanship, so that we will put hand in hand together for dialogue. And we are not expats for these organizations, and they responded to us immediately. And the Tunisian Association for Defending Human Rights, they responded to us, and we formed this quadra or fourth parties to finish the negotiation, whose the brothers will continue and who will talk after me, Mr. Mahmoud, or by this dialogue and by our love to the country. I was so happy when I saw by love we can make peace and justice by love. And by love we can make fraternity and miracles. And by love, not only by each other, by love to the nature and the land, by love among each other, all of us, we can establish any work that defeats the strongest impediments and obstacles and challenges that encounter humanity. Thank you so much.
Honorable Shukran Jazila, thank you for your lovely message and inspiring words. We go to the next Nobel Peace Laureate, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, 2014 Nobel Peace Laureate, whose life work is inspiring. And welcome. And sir, our question to you is, we all know of the great work you have done in your life, but just if you can say it one more time, and so people get inspired by what you have done and which led to the Nobel Peace Laureate Prize.
It's not working. Hello. Yes. Thank you. So at the outset, I would like to congratulate my brother, Josefa Khurakiwala. So why don't we join together in giving a big applause to not just him, but his family, the entire Khurakiwala family, who is sitting here. Thank you, Habil Bhai. This topic is really very beautiful. Love letter to humanity. I am wondering that once I wrote a beautiful love letter to a beautiful girl, and she has stolen my heart. She is my wife who is sitting here. But if I write a love letter to the entire humanity, I have just one heart which is not with me. Who is going to steal my heart again? My beautiful sisters and brothers are sitting here. So they will add up to it and share their experience. Once a journalist asked me after the Peace Prize, Kailash, what has been your biggest contribution to the humanity or accomplishment? I could not answer immediately, but then I replied, my humble contribution has been to bring the children who are most neglected, most oppressed, most suppressed in the global agenda, in the global discourse. I tried to give the face to hundreds of millions of faceless children. I tried to give the voice, the sound, to those hundreds of millions of children who were forcibly kept silent, nameless, faceless. And that began back in 1980, so more than 4 decades by now. Many of you know, or most of the Indians know now, that me and my colleagues have been physically liberating children from the clutches of the mafia and masters, slave masters. That has resulted in the brutal killing of 3 of my colleagues. That has also resulted in attacks on me and my family. I have my broken leg and my broken back and my broken shoulder and broken head. But I'm still alive, so nothing is lost. But of course, we have made progress in the world. It was not just freeing children, but when I started, there was no international legislation against human slavery, child slavery, not human slavery, child trafficking, forced labor, child labor, bonded labor, and so on. We organized long marches, including the Global March Against Child Labor across 103 countries that went on for 6 months from 3 corners of the world. It was participated by 1.5 million people physically, and 71 presidents, prime ministers, kings, and queens joined the global march and at one stage of time in their countries. That has resulted in the new international law in 1999. And since then, the number of child laborers and the victims of slavery and trafficking has decreased from almost 250 million to 150 million in 16 years' time. So progress has been made. I have also conceived the idea of building a worldwide movement for right to education. The global campaign for education, which I headed for several years, more than a decade. And that has again brought the issue of education for children to the public and political domain, and given a big shift as education, which was considered as a charity or as one of the welfare measures or one of the development activity, to the right agenda, rights approach, human rights approach. But dear sisters and brothers, it was not enough. It is not enough. Today, when I sit here, I can listen, I can feel the cry of children who are being maimed and killed. Innocent children are being killed in Gaza. I can feel those children who produce clothes, shoes, footballs. And the big companies make money, and these children have no childhood. I can feel the cry of those girls and boys who are pushed into sexual slavery every single day. Whose children are they? I ask, whose children are they? They are your children. They are my children. They are our children. And when we feel they are our children, then we cannot sit quiet. And that has compelled me to initiate a larger movement, Satyarthi Movement for Global Compassion. Why compassion? First of all, let me clarify here that I'm not talking about mercy, pity, kindness, sympathy, or even empathy. They are good human traits, though. But I'm afraid that none of them can change, can transform the world and bring justice for everyone. They can give healing, spontaneous healing. But when it comes to the deep-rooted injustice, discrimination, inequality, and violence that is rooted in the systems and institutions and the negative aspect of our cultures and traditions, like the racial discrimination, gender discrimination, like the intergenerational poverty, like the growing inequalities in the world, these issues, these problems can only be solved through the power of compassion. So compassion is not a weak or a gentle emotion. I have been trying to give a new definition or trying to amend the age-old definition and trying to redefine, reinvigorate the power of compassion and relaunch. As compassion is a force. I underline, compassion is a force born out of feeling for the suffering of others as your own suffering that drives us to take mindful action. In case of empathy, the danger is that one can be drawn, one can be overwhelmed and merged into it. So how long you can keep the feeling of suffering of others in your mind, in your heart? It cannot be possible forever. This feeling of empathy sometimes leads to depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and so on. So I'm not talking about empathy. I'm talking about compassion, which is a force, which has its own inherent power, which is innate, which is biological, which is sociological, which is neurological. I would underline here that all the religions in the world, all the religions, and all the revolutions and social transformation were born out of the spark of compassion. When somebody at one point of time felt the suffering of others as his or her own suffering and did not keep quiet, did not submerge into that feeling, but took action with urgency and mindfulness. Mindfulness is the key. And that is compassion which we are talking about. So, in my new movement, we have brought three major areas. In 1-2 minutes I can explain. One is that all of us aware of IQ, the intelligence quotient. We also know about EQ. About 2-3 decades ago, this new idea of emotion quotient has been introduced. But sometimes their measurements create a sense of superiority or inferiority. This discriminates the people. If your IQ is low and somebody's IQ is high, that is problematic. Now we are introducing CQ, compassion quotient. Recently, we organized a roundtable inviting 20 top scholars, neurologists, social scientists, anthropologists, psychologists, behavioral scientists from 13 international universities to introduce my idea of compassion quotient. And I was highly inspired and motivated to see the resonance and receptivity of this idea of compassion quotient. Since we are all born with this divine power of compassion, God or Allah cannot be so meager that He has sent or she has sent us with a little compassion and go and do it. And just enjoy your compassion or practice your compassion in your small family circle. We are so meager. We kept our compassion so confined to our family or spouses or friends, small circle. But I strongly believe that God has sent us with the ocean of compassion which each one of us carry. So let us dig it out. Let us take out this power of compassion from within. And that is possible by way of measuring the level of CQ as well as using the level of CQ to enhance the ability to take cognizance of others' problems, to connect with others' problems, to feel their problems as your own, and then with wisdom, you take action to solve those problems. World has never been so poor, so rich, sorry. World has never been so rich as it is today. It has never been so fast, so knowledgeable, so filled with plethora of constitutional guarantees and international treaties and bindings and protocols and so on. But I am sorry to say that world has never been so divided, so fragmented, so broken, so filled with hatred and divide as it is today. Polarization, all these things are causing serious problems and complicating our problems and crises in the world. So in this case, what we need to build compassionate leadership. This is the place. I am sitting here amongst my sisters and brothers. They are the epitomes of compassion. Their life is driven by that compassion because they could not sit quiet. They have exercised it, they have practiced it, and they have brought about change, which all of us are celebrating. All the Nobel laureates, and many of you sitting here in front of us. So we have to build compassionate leadership in medical profession, in education, in politics, in judiciary, in police, in corporate sectors, and so on, that we are working upon. And the last thing which we are doing is that without the participation of young people, the children and young people, we cannot bring about sustainable solutions of the world. We have to learn from them. We can learn simplicity, the power of truth, transparency from our children. But one thing we should keep in mind, that if we are able to inculcate and if we are able to protect the power of compassion in them by way of education, training, experiential learning, and so on, then we are able to create a new generation of compassionate leaders, and that is possible. So, dear friends, let us ignite the power of compassion in each one of us. Each one of us are born with immense divine powers. Why we are shy? When I was receiving the Nobel Prize, I forgot my papers. And then I remembered a story. There was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds were rushing for a safer place, including King Lion. And Lion noticed there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight towards the fire. And he cried, he shouted, "What are you doing, committing suicide?" She said, "No, sir. I was born and grew up in this jungle. I cannot leave it like that."
Sir.
And he asked, What are you? How could you do it? Then she said, look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. I am doing my bit, she said. And rest is the history, rest is the legend. Do your bit, my friends. Ignite the power of compassion and globalize compassion. Thank you so much.
Honorable Kailash Satyarthi ji, what a lovely message that compassion is kindness into action. Just kindness is not enough, you have to act on it. It's a very beautiful message, and may your work of compassion spread right throughout the world. Now I would like to just request the Nobel Peace Prize winners. This session is going long. So if anybody would like to go for 5 minutes and come back, you are free, you don't need my permission. Anyone can get up and go for 5 minutes, they can take a rest, whatever, and they can come back. So you are welcome to do that because this session may go a bit long. I would request now Honorable ex-President of Poland, Mr. Lech Walesa, the Nobel Peace Laureate, to talk about the work of his life and what is his mission in his life.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen,
po II wojnie światowej wielcy tego świata podzielili świat na strefy wpływów.
after the Second World War, the leaders of the world divided it into the areas of influence.
Połowa świata, w tym moja ojczyzna, dostała się pod wpływy Sowietów.
Half of the world, including my home country, ended up under the influence of the Soviets.
Narzucono nam system komunistyczny.
The communist system was imposed on us.
Prowadzono jednopartyjność.
The one-party system was introduced.
Policję polityczną, cenzury.
Political police, censorship.
Nigdy nie zaakceptowaliśmy tego systemu.
And we never accepted that system.
Lata 40. i 50. walczyliśmy z bronią w ręku przeciwko tej władzy.
In the 40s and in the 50s, we fought that power armed,
Przegraliśmy tą walkę.
but we lost that fight.
Lata 60. i 70. walczyliśmy strajkami, wychodząc na ulicę.
In the 60s and 70s, we fought by strike actions and going into the streets.
Przegraliśmy te metody walki.
But those methods also were unsuccessful.
Ale na zasadach prób i błędów doszliśmy do pomysłu solidarności całego narodu.
But through trial and error, we arrived at the solution rested in the solidarity of the nation.
Dość daleko się zorganizowaliśmy.
We became organized.
Ale komunizm miał prostą zasadę: nie pozwolić się im zorganizować.
But the communism had one solid rule: let's not let them get organized.
Rozbijać każdą próbę zorganizowania.
Any attempts were quenched.
I powtarzać: nie macie najmniejszych szans.
And to repeat, you have no chance.
Czy nie widzicie, że w samej Polsce jest około 100 000 żołnierzy sowieckich, które nas pilnuje?
And you see that in the Poland there is around 100,000 Soviet soldiers that are looking at you.
Naokoło Polski około 1 milion żołnierzy sowieckich pilnuje nas.
And around there are 1 million Soviet soldiers keeping an eye on you.
Jeszcze po cichu mówiono, że są silosy z bronią nuklearną.
And there were silent talks talking about the nuclear weapon-filled silos.
Żadnych szans. Załamano polski naród i cały świat zresztą.
There seemed to have been no chance of winning, and that was believed in Poland as well as around the world.
A do końca zbliżała się druga tysiąclatka chrześcijaństwa.
And it was also nearly 2000 years of Christianity at that point.
Polacy wymodlili Polaka na Ojca Świętego.
The Polish nation prayed and received the Polish Pope.
Po roku od wyborów przyjechał do Polski.
1 year after being elected, he came to Poland.
Cały świat przyglądał się na Polskę, co się w tym komunistycznym państwie dzieje.
And the eyes of the entire world turned to Poland, looking at what's happening in this communist state.
Prawie cały naród brał w spotkaniach z Ojcem Świętym udział.
Almost the entire nation took part in the meetings with the Pope.
Ojciec Święty nie robił rewolucji, zorganizował nas do modlitwy.
But the Pope didn't organize the revolution. He was just putting us in one place so that we could collectively pray.
A jednocześnie zobaczyliśmy, jak jest nas dużo.
But at the same time, it allowed us to see how many of us there are.
Nieduże organizacje opozycyjne przejęły to zorganizowanie, poprowadziły do boju.
And some opposition organizations took those groups and that power and led them to fight.
Oczywiście komunizm coraz bardziej kończył się.
Of course, the communism was coming to an end.
Więc było pytanie, jak tylko od niego odejść pokojowo.
So the only question was, how can we walk away from it in a peaceful way?
I mojej organizacji pod moim przewodem Solidarności udało się tego dokonać.
And my organization, under my leadership, Solidarity, managed to achieve just that.
Udało się pomóc rozwiązać Związek Radziecki,
We managed to dissolve the Soviet Union.
Układ Warszawski rozwiązać,
Warsaw Treaty was untangled.
wyprowadzić wszystkie wojska ze wszystkich krajów komunistycznych, rosyjskie wojska.
We managed to march all the Russian armies from all the Soviet states.
Pomogliśmy zjednoczyć się Niemcom,
We helped the Germany to unite.
a więc zburzyliśmy stary porządek.
So we dismantled the old order.
Ale zburzyliśmy po to, by zbudować nowy porządek.
But we dismembered it to build a new order.
I dobrze nam szło.
And we were on track to doing just that.
Europa poszła w tym kierunku.
Europe followed in that direction.
Problem tylko polega na tym, że ja przegrałem drugą kadencję prezydencką.
The only problem was that I lost my second presidential elections.
Po drodze zdarzył się wypadek samolotowy. Polska załoga zginęła w całości, prawie cały rząd polski.
There was also the air crash that killed almost the entire Polish government.
Wrogowie porozumienia, wrogowie tego, co budowaliśmy, wykorzystali ten moment.
The enemies of what we were building used that moment.
Oskarżyli o to przywódców sowieckich, że to oni ten wypadek nam spowodowali.
They accused the Soviet leaders of causing that crash.
Więc budowa została zatrzymana.
And that's when the construction work that we were doing
Ale
stopped.
daliśmy światu przykład, jak walczyć, jak zwyciężać.
However, we gave an example to the world how to fight and how to win.
Europa, zobaczcie, co Europa zrobiła.
And look what Europe has done.
Prawie znieśliśmy wszędzie granice między państwami.
There are no longer any borders across the countries.
Prowadziliśmy euro w całej Europie.
We introduced euro across Europe.
Każdy może pracować z każdego państwa w każdym innym państwie.
And anyone can work in another country if they want.
Chciałbym to kontynuować.
I would like this to continue.
Chciałbym, żeby kontynenty poszły, inne kontynenty, Afryka, Azja, Ameryki różne, żeby poszły w tym samym kierunku.
I would like all the continents, Asia, Africa, America, to follow us in the same direction.
Bo technologia mówi, że państwa kraje to za mało, obojętnie na jakim kontynencie.
Because technology says that countries, states are not enough no matter which continent we are talking about.
Nie panujemy nad naszymi rozwiązaniami wieloma.
We can no longer control many of the solutions that we have devised.
Nad ekologią nie panujemy.
We can't control the ecology.
Tylko zorganizowanie możemy poradzić tym wyzwaniom, jakie stanęły przed nami.
Only when we are organized and united we can face the challenges that are posed in front of us.
Epoka państwa, kraje, bloki upadła.
The epoch of countries, states, blocks, this is long gone.
Pojawiła się epoka intelektu, informacji, globalizacji.
We are in the epoch of intellect, information and globalization.
A my jesteśmy pośrodku.
And we are somewhere in between.
Jedno padło, drugie nie powstało.
The old concepts, they collapsed, the new ones are not yet fully born.
Ja ten czas nazywam epoka słowa, dyskusji, jak ten świat ma wyglądać.
And I call this era that we live in the era of discussion on what the world that we live in is supposed to look like.
Widzicie, co się w świecie dzieje.
You see what's happening in the world.
Widzicie, że wszystkie struktury, partie polityczne ze starej epoki nie pasują do dzisiejszych czasów.
You see that all the structures, political parties of the old era, they are not fit for the new world.
Nasze pokolenie powinno zacząć porządkować, co pasuje na te czasy.
Our generation should start to sort what is good for the times that have come.
To, co dziś się dzieje w świecie całym, te wybory różnego typu, to traktujcie jako dyskusja nad przyszłością.
What's happening all over the world at this time, or the elections, please look at it as a discussion about our future.
W tej sytuacji demagodzy, populiści mają wygrywają wybory w niektórych państwach już.
Demagogues and populists are already winning elections in some countries.
Bo im jest prościej i łatwiej negować wszystko.
Because they find it much easier to negate everything.
W naszym pokoleniu musimy znaleźć rozwiązania.
Our generation is the one that has to find solutions.
Co to znaczy dziś lewica?
What is left wing
Co
today?
to znaczy prawica?
What is right wing?
Demokracja nie funkcjonuje.
Democracy is not functioning
Ludzie
anymore.
nie wierzą w tą demokrację.
And people don't believe in
Nie
it.
bronią tej
They
demokracji.
don't defend it.
Trzeba dopisać 3 elementy w demokracji, aby ludzie wrócili do demokracji.
We have to add 3 elements to democracy so that people come back to it.
Już mówiłem, Ukraina i Rosja pokazuje, co trzeba wpisać w demokracji.
Ukraine and Russia example shows what needs to be added to the concept of democracy.
Przywódcy nie mogą mieć więcej jak 2 kadencje, nie dłużej jak po 5 lat.
Leaders can not have more than 2 terms, consecutive terms, and no more than 5 years each.
Każdy wybrany może być zawsze odwołany. Drugi punkt.
And the second point is that each leader should be able to be called off his function.
Trzeci punkt, żeby nie było bałaganu, to trzeba w drugim punkcie spowodować, by więcej ludzi wotum nieufności wyraziło, by odwoływać.
And to avoid any chaos, the third point is that in the second point, there must be a large majority that will agree for calling off of the
I
leader.
trzeci punkt, czytelność finansowania.
And transparency of financing.
Tylko tak możecie uratować demokrację
That's the only way to save democracy.
i tak możecie poprowadzić i rozwiązać te wszystkie problemy, które tu są zgłaszane.
And that's the only way to solve all the problems that have been mentioned here.
Bo można, to są wszystkie rzeczy, że z nimi się zgadzamy, ale jak je realizować?
Because we all agree on all these ideas, but how to put them in action?
W taki sposób się nie da zrealizować.
That's not impossible to do it the way that we are discussing
Więc
here.
kończąc, chciałbym brać udział tak jak brałem udział w burzeniu, to teraz chciałbym brać udział w budowaniu.
And to conclude, exactly in the same way in which I took part in bringing the regimes down, now I would like to take part in building something new.
Dziękuję.
Honorable Lech Walesa, thank you very much for your views and your insights and your very inspiring work of your life. And also, even after you have achieved so much, you have a mission to achieve more. That is a very amazing thing. We go next to Honorable Lema Gobovi. She is a Nobel Peace Laureate from Liberia, 2011. Ms. Honorable, we would like to ask you, the Nobel Peace Prize, which was conferred on you, you had done a great work. If you can throw light on this audience about the work that you have done, and what is the future mission, what you are planning to do?
Thank you. I dislike the title honorable because in our different countries, the term has been bastardized. People call themselves honorable and behave dishonorably. So Miss Bowie will be fine. One trait that I think all of us, regardless of our race, our religion, on this stage share is that we are angry people. And at some point in our lives, we were angry. The Quartets were angry at the state of Tunisia. Kalashji was angry at the state of children in India. Shireen was angry at the state of injustice. Nadia angry at the treatment of women. President-elect was angry at governance and the way people were suppressed. And I am still a very angry woman, angry at the state of our world. I started my life, and I say it's difficult to talk about my life, so I was socialized to believe in equality. I was socialized to believe that all faith mattered. I was socialized to believe that class and money wasn't as important as the human person. And that socialization led me through my life. And then at some point, we went to war in Liberia. And for many years during the war years, I was very angry to the point of carrying a lot of toxicity in my body. My attitude, everything projected that kind of toxic nature. But I recognized at one point in my life that anger is the same trait that Hitler carried, and it's the same trait that we carry. The difference between those who are called villains and those who are called heroes is that one group placed their anger in a non-violent container, like Gandhi, and the other placed theirs in a violent container. And I wanted to be remembered as someone who transformed her anger into something positive. So we came together as a group of Christian and Muslim women. For those Liberians in the room, when the war started, there were only 2 warring factions. And then eventually we went to 14. And we had gone to dozens of peace talks. And some of the worst crimes against humanity was conducted. Women who were pregnant, they placed a bed on their stomach and they degutted them to see the child. So all of those things. So we came together, a group of women who had no idea of what nonviolence was. We were even schooled in it. But one thing we had was our collective humanity. We wanted to make peace. We wanted peace to come into our country. So Christian, Muslim, everyone, we came together. I became the leader by default. I did not want to be a leader. They insisted that I would be the leader since I was the one who had the dream. And so long story short, we went ahead and we did what we had to do. Today, there is nowhere in the history of the world where they talk peace or about the peace process in Liberia that the women are not mentioned. But after peace, what we were able to do also, we took our peace agreement, because usually when the peace is signed, people clap, they dance, and they forget. But we took our peace agreement, 80 women leaders went into a room, demystify, simplify, put some benchmarks to it, and send it into communities for women and say, if you don't see this happening at this time, protest. So basically, we followed our peace process up to elections. And after elections, we have never stopped, and I don't think we will stop, because 2005, we had our first general elections. 2011 was very contested. It was hotly contested. The women were out again. 2017, there was a lot of organizing in the dark, because especially for 2017, we were very, very aware that all of the young people who were born 1990, coming up to 2003, had very little recollection of the pain of the war. And those were the ones that people would use for problems. And elections are always the time bomb for many countries coming out of war. So to cut a long story short, Liberia has been at peace for, 21 years? And I can tell anyone that we have broken the record for any country that has gone to war. And this is to say that when women are actively involved in peace processes, the process tends to last longer. Where am I today? One of the gaps in the work that we do, that we did in those years, where we didn't have a lot of young women amongst us. And so when I won the Nobel Peace Prize, we're sitting in the room the day before my lecture, and they asked, so what do you do next? And I said, well, I won the prize, and I'm going to retire. And my friends were like, no, you can't at 39 because I won the prize at 39. So I said, I want to send girls to school. So when I turned 40, I launched another foundation. And for the last several years, alongside all of the global work that we do, I've been in the process of mentoring and sending young people to school. What have I learned on this journey? The first thing that I've learned is that faith is very important. If you do not have a recognition of a power that is greater than yourself, it's very impossible to make any change in the world that we find ourselves living in. So whether you say my faith is humanity, my faith is children, my faith is freedom, my faith is justice, but you have to have a recognition that there is someone or something higher than yourself in this world. The second thing that I've come to realize that money never really does the work. We need money, yes, but innovation is what carries the work. Passion is what carries the work. The third thing that I've learned is that community is extremely important in everything that we do. A few years ago, I was burned out, totally burned out. I needed a place to rest. I ran away to India, to Kalashji. I remember the first day I went to sleep, Mata, his wife, sent someone to wake me up, and this little girl stood at the door from like 10 till 2 because I was in deep sleep. And when I opened my eyes, they were standing looking at me like, did she die? But that community I've come to really appreciate, whether it's going to Kalash, whether it's the Nobel Women's Initiative, whether it's the young one that keeps us, you need that community. And I must also add that in as much as LEC is not as active, I had some students in Ukraine, and when the war started, his son-in-law, his office was very instrumental in bringing my students to the city, so that community is very important. Finally, what I've come to learn is that peace, in the past, I thought peace was about ending war. Peace was about bringing peace, let's not fight. But I've come to recognize that peace is not just the absence of war, but peace is the presence of conditions that give dignity to all. And I feel like a lot of the wars that we fought around the world that are still being fought is about conditions that people live in that makes it uneasy for them to live in dignity. So dignity for me is very important. The conditions, the basic human security need is very important. So on this journey, as much as I would like to say that it's an extraordinary journey, because people think when you've won the Nobel Peace Prize, you are on an extraordinary journey. It's a journey of humanity. It's a journey of seeing the person in you, recognizing the person in you, regardless of their color, regardless of how they pray, and say, you are my brother, you are my sister, and we can make life together. Thank you.
Ms. Lema, I will address you as Ms. Lema. And what a inspiring and what a lovely story, and how beautifully you have conveyed the story. Thank you very much. We go to the next Nobel Peace Laureate 2015 from Tunisia, Honorable Mohammad Fadel Mahfoud. Sir, we would like to ask you, the Nobel Peace Laureate you won, what was the journey of winning that Nobel Peace Laureate? And in future, what is the path forward? And I will just excuse myself. I will come back in 2 minutes, but you can start the answer. Okay?
شكرا على طرح السؤال.
Thank you for this question.
والحقيقة أنه من الصعب أن تتناول
It is,
الكلمة
in fact,
بعد
difficult
هذه
to
القامات التي
talk about
تحدثت
these
عن
figures
مساراتها
who talked about their
من أجل الحصول على
journey
جائزة
and their
نوبل
life to
للسلام.
win the Nobel Prize for Peace.
دعوني في البداية أذكر أن
Let
حصولي
me
على جائزة نوبل للسلام
remind you
كان
that
في إطار
my winning of
الرباعي الراعي للحوار
Nobel Prize was within the framework of the four parties who sponsored and the people who interfered before me and after me. In fact, this prize was not programmed or not planned well, and to remind you briefly of the events that imposed the political society to negotiate together under the supervision of this quadratic dialogue, which was a dialogue imposed between two brackets, thanks to the remote of the civil community of Tunisia and the civil negotiations, the people who fight against the human rights and the advocates also. These are the conditions where we found and inaugurated after then a year and a half of the success of the civil negotiation in Tunisia. It was inaugurated by the Nobel Prize winning after 1 year and a half. But let me, at the beginning, remind you that the confusion that was offered in the Arab world and Tunisia and a number of third world or developing countries is a good question and a pivotal question: how to consolidate democracy in these countries and how to make these regimes or systems in these countries respect the rights and the freedoms and the human rights in particular. And this question, to link it with my journey, life journey, this question, I thought about it since I was young, particularly if after the failure of the transition period, which was the elections of 1981 in Tunisia. And these elections were conducted at that time, and we thought that the regime decided to transfer to democracy and openness, but unfortunately these elections were frauded, and the ruling party was declared as a winner, and all the opponents parties or the opponent parties were excluded at that time. This feeling and this dilemma for the democratic transition, I felt it personally when I was 16 years of age. And since then, I consider that my involvement in the public affairs must be an example for myself, and an example for my colleagues, and an example for my co-workers to realize this requirement, representing to consolidate Tunisian democracy. Why not in the Arab world and the developing countries as well? And holding the posts in advocacy and lawyer job enabled me to have a good position in the public affairs, and enabled me to meet again with these four organizations, as my relationships were historical, to save democracy in Tunisia, and in order to consolidate the culture of human rights properly and sustainably. In fact, this experience, as I always say, is not the model experience, but it can be inspiring, and we can learn takeaways from it. And the most important takeaways and lessons, I think, and which aligns with my quiet personality, if I might say, is the culture of perseverance and persuasion and challenging. no matter how difficult they are, and believing that every problem has a solution, and dialogue is the only way to solve all the conflicts that enable us to avoid destruction and violence. And this is what I believed in, and this is what I worked for during the national dialogues, and this is what I am trying to disseminate for the future generations and for everyone who is caring about the public affairs. Particularly, we are living nowadays a reflection for the right case and keeping away from the public affairs and practicing the civil and political activities, particularly under the popularity of popularism and the growing of the war voices and refusing all the legal voices that consolidate the state of law, either in the dictatorial regimes or the regimes that call themselves democratic, as the national and regular resolutions have become also suspectful by the popular people. Therefore, our role, as we obtained this prize during history, is to continue this fight and to work together to impose the culture, the negotiation culture and the peace culture, and calling our regimes to keep away from violence. And this is what I believe we cannot say to all the advocates of peace and love and justice. And humanity must remember that the amount of expense for the military equipment and preparedness in the world, if these expenses were spent for peace, I think there is no war in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Muhammad Fadil Mahfood. Your words were very nice and inspiring, and thank you for your presence all the way from Tunisia. You have come. We go to the next Nobel Peace Laureate, Honorable Mohan Monasinghe, who won the Nobel Peace Laureate in 2007. We would like to know the path that you had carved, which led to the Nobel Peace Prize, and what is the future work that you are planning to do?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Brothers and sisters, children, grandchildren, thank you for being here and for being so supportive. I find particularly that the vibrations are so positive, and I thank also the chairman and his family for bringing this exceptional group of people together on this subject. I will also add some words later on some of the dangers of meeting only with people who agree. But first, let me respond to your specific question, Mr. Chairman. Why I am associated with a Nobel Peace Prize is because I'm a scientist who worked for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and our contribution towards world peace was we showed how the two most important problems facing humanity in this century, which are sustainable development and climate change, how they are linked together. Because I've worked with the IPCC for many years. When we started 30, 40 years ago, all the climate scientists were hardcore physicists and others. They basically said this is only about atmospheric physics and so on and so forth. And then some of us said, wait a minute, human beings are causing the problem. Human beings are going to be affected by the problem. So that part must come in. There was an internal debate, but eventually we prevailed, the small group of us from the developing world particularly, and that integration of climate and sustainability. In other words, that it is human beings who are the cause of climate change, but at the same time, it is the same human beings, particularly the poor, who will suffer from climate change. So that was the road to the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007. Now, I will elaborate a little bit more on that later, but let me also answer the second part of your question, which is where am I going now? Well, let me say at age 80, whatever, I'm at peace with myself, I'm at peace with the universe. But there is unease. And again, I always apologize to the next generation that we are living a world that is not so nice for you. We are leaving a lot of problems to be solved. And I still feel that guilt. So even at this age, when I should be sitting in an armchair relaxing, I feel compelled to pass the torch on, to tell the young people what they should not be doing, which we did wrongly, and to encourage them with their wonderful knowledge, the new tools, the digital technologies, social media, all the other things. And I have great confidence in the youth. I think they will solve the problems of the world. So that's where I hope to go. Now, let me end by giving you a few ideas on how to move forward, because I said you have given me a lot of strength to move forward from here. And I hope what my colleagues are imparting to you will also empower you. But it is not enough to be what I said in the very first session, an echo chamber. Because the world is a vast place. There are 8 billion people out there with many problems. And therefore, we are obliged, just give me a second to pull up some of the points. We are obliged to go out there and solve those problems. Now, I feel that GGLPS is a wonderful platform to do this. So all of us have other dimensions. We have other networks. We have to energize those networks to carry forward this message from the time we move out. So the first thing I would say is, among the other networks is something called the Sustainable Development Goals, which all countries have agreed on, and I personally have also worked very hard on developing those. It is the last chance for humanity. I think the message that you have here is very essential. So join hands with the sustainability group. The second thing is, I think we have to give people what they need most. There are almost 1 billion people in the world who are starving. It is unjust, inequitable, unethical. But for them, justice, love, and peace means a very simple thing: more food on the table for their children. So we first have to identify what people need and then translate our compassion, our love, and other values to help those people. GGLPS can protect the planet. On the first day, I told you we are using almost 2 planets worth of resources. It can't go on. We must have some compassion for the planet and for nature. And we can share that. also have to think of inequality. I told you that the richest in the world are consuming hundreds of times more per capita than the poorest people. And that inequality itself is a manifestation not of justice, but of gross injustice. So we must do what we can to solve that. And one thing I have said over and over again, we are spending over $2 trillion currently per year on weapons for hatred, for destruction. Less than 1/10 that amount for poverty reduction, for love and compassion. I mean, this is absurd. Now, I will also tell you how justice, love, and peace link up with sustainability. In 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit, I presented a framework including a triangle where I showed that sustainable development depends on the social dimension, social forces, the economic dimension, the productive forces, and the third, of course, natural environment on which we all depend. Now, if you look at this triangle, it must be balanced and harmonious for sustainability. But we actually have a very unsustainable triangle because the social values, the values that you espouse in this meeting, are not present. What is driving society are greed, selfishness, violence, hatred, all the wrong sets of values. And because of that wrong social values, it has created an economic system for maldevelopment. This is not development. You have extremes of poverty and wealth. You have a massive indebtedness, and so on and so forth. And the unbalanced economic system is driving the environmental degradation. So we are creating also an environmental debt for our children. And this triangle, unsustainable triangle, must be broken because the more we destroy our resources, the more we will fight over them. So there are no weapons of mass destruction, human rights, all of these other things that are used to drive wars. Wars are driven primarily by greed for resources, land, water, food, minerals, and other things. So we must break that triangle. Let me also now finish up by saying that building coalitions means bringing social forces, business community, because I believe business is part of the solution, not part of the problem. And of course, government together, to work together. So build those coalitions. And finally, I will end with this thought, that is, before we harmonize the planet, we have to harmonize ourselves. So start with ourselves. We have mind, the growth of the intellectual capacity. We need to look after our body, to have a healthy body. And we need time for family, friends, and society. And that way you have a personal sustainability triangle that will help you to build a sustainable world. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mohan Munasinghe, thank you for your excellent views. And some of the things like the defense budget of $2 trillion and so many things are troubling us actually internally. And you brought it once again to light in the summit. Thank you for coming all the way. And thank you once again. We go to the next Nobel Peace Laureate, Ms. Nadia Murad. She is an Iraqi social activist and she has done great work in justice and fighting for human rights. We request her to throw some light on the work she has done and what she plans to do in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be among this group of amazing people who have made so much change in the world. I think listening to everyone, I believe that everyone had more resources and access to information before they won Nobel, except for me. And I think everyone was aware of the Nobel before they were nominated, except for me. I grew up in Iraq, and all I wanted to be was, I wanted to be a makeup artist, not a Nobel laureate. But I think that's why I should start by saying that my current life, speaking here in front of all of you, working as an activist and especially raising awareness of conflict-related sexual violence, was not a life I could have ever imagined for myself just 10 years ago. In August of 2014, I was working with my 10 siblings and my mother on our family farm on the Iraqi countryside. That summer was supposed to be a special one for me and my family. I was the youngest of 11, and yet in just a few months, I will be the first one in my family to graduate from high school. But with every passing day that summer, we heard news that a group called themselves the Islamic State, ISIS or Daesh, were getting closer to us. We heard from other religious minorities like Christians in a nearby Iraqi city of Mosul that ISIS had given them two options: to pay a tax or leave. But we doubted, as a small and already marginalized group, that we will be offered those options. And after that, you know, my happy summer became overcome with anxiety and fear, and my future and the future of my family was suddenly in question. And the world watched in 2014 as ISIS, thousands of ISIS members, including many of our own neighbors, attacked Yazidis village by village, murdering thousands of men and enslaving more than 6,500 women and children. On that day, I lost my mother and 6 of my brothers, many cousins, nieces, neighbors. The whole male population of my village was murdered, and all the women, including myself, were taken into sexual slavery, bought and sold all over Iraq and Syria. After escaping the horror of ISIS, I found myself in an unfamiliar world again. I was in a displacement camp inside my own country. And there I started to use my voice, sharing with anybody who was eager to listen about the stories of women and girls who were still in captivity. But I didn't know a lot about the world outside of my village. I didn't know that people like Shirin Ebadi existed in the world, let alone in the Middle East. I didn't know that people could speak truth to power, but I listened on the journey. I would share my story with anyone who was eager to listen. Aid workers, journalists, prosecutors, and then I got the opportunity to immigrate to Germany. In Germany, I had more freedom because in Iraq, there was so much shame and stigma associated with rape, even though none of it was my fault or anybody's fault. It was the fault of the international community who failed to protect women and girls. It was the fault of the Iraqi government who failed to protect one of its oldest religious minority. And then in Germany, I started using my story and advocating for others and speaking to world leaders, lawyers, prosecutors, journalists every single day. And that's where I learned that I was nominated for Nobel, and I got to educate myself about Nobel, to be honest. And since then, my mission is to, well, I think first is to something that we must stop treating survivors as passive witnesses. Our testimonies are evidence. They carry not just pain, but knowledge about how these crimes happen and how they can be prevented. If the international community wants to end the use of sexual violence as a weapon of war, it must create space for survivors to lead, not only in closed sessions or a one-day conference, but in shaping laws and accountability mechanisms and humanitarian responses. For so long, survivors from DRC to Ukraine to Iraq and everywhere in between have been represented in those rooms where decisions are made about us. But I think it's time for survivors to share with the world these atrocities and these crimes. And unfortunately, we have a wealth of research from studying previous genocides from, Bosnia, Cambodia, Rwanda, and elsewhere, and the list goes on. We know a lot, but we rarely seem to learn. And that is something I continue to advocate, to make sure that when conflict erupts, we don't just pay attention to the lives lost and buildings destroyed, as we should, but we must also recognize those who pay the highest price, those who their souls have been destroyed over and over again. And as you know, the trauma is generational, and very few people have been held accountable in these conflicts because for so long rape was seen as a side effect of war and not as a war crime, but we are changing that. It was a great honor to be recognized by the Nobel Committee, but that was just one step, a recognition. Winning Nobel doesn't mean that the work is over or everything has accomplished. It's just one step, one recognition. The fight continues, the work needs to be done, and that's what I hope to be able to do in the future.
Honorable Ms. Nadia Murad, thank you for your lovely views that you express. And you have a living example how the deep pain that you went through, you have become a voice for that pain. Many people go through the pain, but they don't have the courage to become the voice for the pain. And you have become a voice for the pain, and very well done. We go to the next panelist, Ms. Vidit Boshamui, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2015 for the great work she has done for the democracy in Tunisia. And we would request her to give her views on the great work that she has done and what is in the future, what is her mission in the future.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here and among my colleagues. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I'm always also honored and proud to be in Dubai. This is the place where to be because we have here more than 250 nationalities and people, they live with peace, with security, and I think it's the best lab for all of us. If you don't mind, I'm just going to speak a little bit about myself because I know it's very difficult, but just to say, when I was young, I was very shy. I was quiet, but very observant. And for me, observation is kind of way of learning, growing, and flying high. I learned from my father, who was my mentor, my professor, how to listen to others, how to understand others, and how to not to give up. And I learned from him how also we can go through challenges, how we can also try to resolve problems and don't look to our back. And for me, that's what I learned, when there is a will, there is a way. So no matter what, that's why we need to be strong. We need to also to be resilient and also to love what we are doing. I was born in Gebes, it's a oasis in the south of Tunisia. And I think for me, I was fortunate also that my loving and supportive parents raised me in the way how I had a very stable environment. I had the chance to study in Tunisia and outside the country, to have my own company, to be the boss, and also to manage this company, and to have the same, the same advantages than my brothers. And I learned, that we have this, we can learn experience. It's a kind of huge puzzle, and we must go inch by inch, to grow up. I was also, let's say, maybe lucky to be elected in 2011, the year of the transition in Tunisia and the Arab Spring, the first woman in the Arab world as the president of the Employers Union. We have 150,000 members, and it was for me a hard task, to be this, the first one. You know, when you are the first one, always is very difficult, and people, they are waiting for you. And for me, it was kind of challenge to say, yes, we as women, I can lead this, I can also discuss, and particularly with the union. And my first exam, my first the test was how to have this kind of discussion with the union. And as Mr. Abbasi said, our labor union in Tunisia is one of the strongest union in the Arab world. So for me, how I can break this kind of wall and how to advance, it was for me kind of adventure and a kind of challenge. I had, let's say, many intimidation from the government at this time. Even many members of of the confederation, they didn't agree with me how to have this kind of relationship with the union. But for me, I believe and I'm convinced that we are partners. And for me, it's very important to have a stable environment in our companies, and it's very important to listen to each other and to work together. It's not just to earn money, to grow up, but also to consider them that the workers, they are human, they are part of the company, and we need to be together, to do something right for the companies. Even though they tried with different ways to intimidate me, I received many death threats, but I didn't give up, because for me, it was kind of challenge to say, yes, I am here, and I'm able to do that. I have the charisma, I have the will, and also I have the capacity to lead this and to have this kind of partnership with the union. And when we had this kind of, let's say, 2013, this kind of turbulence and this kind of politician assassination in Tunisia, we were together to initiate this initiative, this dialogue, national dialogue. It was a collective initiative. It was done by the civil society. We were together as a group, and we decided together, and we listened to each other. And we, for each step, we had to meet together and to consultate each one of us, and to really to do what we felt was the best for Tunisia, because we had to give some hope to Tunisian people, to say, yes, we are able to have democracy, we are able to do everything by ourselves, and we are able also to discuss and to have this kind of dialogue. And the dialogue is not a way to have loser or winner. It's a way to bring all our ideas and to participate, to discuss, and also to have kind of, by consensus, to have at least a way to resolve problems and to find a solution. That's what we did in Tunisia. It was a hard task, but I think we succeeded on that. And I'm not going to throw all this dialogue, because my colleagues, they spent time and said some details about the dialogue. But if you don't mind, I have kind of advices for the young generation, and also for women. For me, I think there are 4 pillars for success. If you want to succeed, if you want to be always the first one, you need to be this discipline, auto-relegation. You need to be on time, and also you need, to listen to others. Also to to have this feeling about what you want to achieve. If you are sure, if you know your path, and you are sure what you are doing, you are going to succeed. And never give up. It's very important. And also to keep your eyes on the big picture and strive to make it happen. Don't say, I'm weak, I cannot do that. No, I need your help. No, you have to believe on that and you will succeed. Also, you need to have to maintain this high level of commitment because success is not possible without commitment. Commitment is like discipline, is what makes you a trustworthy person. If people, they trust you, you can succeed. And also, it's very important to respect people, time and deadlines, and always to keep your promise. Never commit to things you cannot do. If you don't know something, it's easy to say, I don't know, please say it again, give me more details. It's really a way to move forward. Last but not least, I think it's very important to respect ethics. Money is not everything in life, even that what it looks like and on social media, but it's, we need to respect moral and to respect our trust. Be good, be humble, and be fair. Because our future, your future, is just one future. So let's together bring this solidarity and coexistence from bare concepts to real life. I think together we can have this kind of, let's say, better environment, and our legacy for the new generation is more stability, more comprehension, more passion, more compassion, and also more resilience. So I'm always optimistic, and I think the new generation is able to do better than us, and I hope for them good luck, and thank you so much.
Honorable Vidit Boshamui, you have highlighted the work you did, but you gave 4 pillars of success. So it's a great learning for all of us because you got it from the experience that you had in your life. And thank you for sharing your wisdom. And thank you for coming over here. We go to the last, number 10, Nobel Peace Laureate, Dr. Shireen Ebadi. And it is a testimony that in the Arab world, people think women power is less. But if you just see over here, we see Ms. Nadia Murad from Iraq, Ms. Vidit Boshamui from Tunisia, and Dr. Shireen Ebadi from Iran. So they have won the Nobel Peace Laureate because the great work they have done for human rights. And the power of these women reflect that the Arab world does not lack the woman power. So Dr. Shireen Ebadi, you won the Nobel Peace Laureate. It is a great achievement. You fought for human rights. And if you can tell us a little bit about the journey that you had, the difficulty that you had, and what you want, the message you want to convey.
I'm a lawyer. And before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, I went to the law school and I graduated from there and I became a lawyer and then a judge. The situation in the country was good at the time and women had a lot more freedom than they do at present. And maybe you'll be surprised to hear that Iranian women managed to gain the right to vote and enter parliament 2 years before women in Switzerland managed to do so. And in 1979, however, we had a revolution, and the leaders of this revolution had promised us freedom and independence. They told us, oh, you're going to be independent, you're going to be free. However, that did not happen in practice. And very soon the people came to realize that they were deceived. And instead of the regime of the Shah, a monarchy, an Islamic Republic had taken its place, which was using the name of Islam in order to deprive us of all our freedoms. And the situation in the country deteriorated day by day. When the government came, Islamic government came to power, it officially declared what its policy was. They said, first, we are against the United States. We have to make sure that the United States is leaves the region. And second, we have to annihilate Israel. And since then, they devoted all their financial resources and every other resource they had in order to advance these two aims, to make sure that the United States leaves the region and Israel is annihilated. And the government started to create paramilitary force, and you have seen how it created Hezbollah in Lebanon, and it funded Hezbollah in Lebanon, provided them with weapons. Then it spent a great deal of money in order to keep Bashar al-Assad in power in Syria. It sent many of these young militia, Iranian militia, to join the civil war in Syria and to defend Assad, which it interfered in Iraq, and it created paramilitary force in Iraq, in Yemen. It also strengthened the Houthis. And that resulted in Iran becoming financially weaker because it was spending all its money on these proxy forces. Iran is a very rich country. We have the biggest gas reserve, second biggest gas reserve in the world. We are a very oil-rich country. We have many mineral resources. We used to have excellent universities. Iranian experts are now teaching in the best Ivy League United States universities. If you look at the major multinational companies, there are many Iranian experts working there. If you take these Iranian experts out of these companies, believe me, these companies will no longer be able to carry out with their work. Every huge, massive company in the world has Iranians. I have, whichever major university I've been to, there have been around the world, there have been Iranian professors there. There has been massive brain drain in Iran since the revolution because anyone who says the slightest thing against the regime and calls for democracy and human rights is arrested. Even after our 8-year war against Iraq, Iran-Iraq war in the 80s, within 1 week, and I repeat, within 1 week, 4,000 political prisoners were executed by the regime. Do you know what that means? That means 4,000 political prisoners in 1 week were executed. And since then, Iran has managed to have the highest execution number. They silence any dissent. And in such circumstances, as an Iranian lawyer who had been raised in that country, I felt I had a duty. And to that end, I started writing a variety of books in order to prove that they are abusing the name of Islam as a pretext to stay in power. What they are saying is not Islam. Islam has many interpretations, and what they are saying is not true Islam. Then I realized that I cannot succeed on my own. So I started an NGO, the Defenders of Human Rights Center. And in this NGO, I managed to persuade many of my colleagues who were lawyers to come and defend political prisoners pro bono. And if someone was imprisoned because of his or her political beliefs, we helped them, we defended them. We had social workers who would visit their families. And you know what? That resulted in not only my imprisonment, but also in 2009, they raided my NGO, they closed my NGO, they seized my properties, they confiscated my assets. They wanted to assassinate me on 3 occasions, and I still receive death threats. And I know they haven't given up on the idea of killing me. But that's not important for me. What is important for me is that it is my duty, so long as I am alive, I have to fight for my country, for the development of my country. Iran is an extremely beautiful country. We have a 7,000-year-old civilization. We are an incredibly rich country. We are a massive country, but unfortunately, we have a regime in power that is corrupt, as a result of which half the Iranian population are living under the poverty line. And they are begging for their food. When they raided my NGO, I happened to be outside Iran. I happened to be in Spain, where I was giving a speech. So they arrested my colleagues. And since they couldn't arrest me because I wasn't in Iran at the time, instead of me, they arrested my husband and my sister in order to force me to surrender. And that happened in 2009. Then after a few months, they sent me a message. They said, if you return to Iran, don't worry, we won't do anything to you. We will give back all your assets, and we will release your sister and your husband as long as you promise to stay silent. And I said, look, my relatives are innocent. You have to free them, and they will be freed, because there is a God. And God is a witness, and God will protect innocent people. And finally, after a while, they released my sister and my husband. Then they sent me another message saying, oh, we'll give you everything back, come back. And I said, look, I'm not worried about money. God provides me with my daily bread. You have all plundered Iran. You might as well take my assets too. It doesn't matter to me, but I am not going to remain silent. And since 2009, I travel at least 10 months a year throughout the world, and I speak to whoever is willing to listen, especially journalists, to tell them what is happening in Iran and how people's voices cannot be heard because of censorship. That is my duty. And even at my age, as you can see, I am losing my voice these days, but I'm not going to give up. I will only stop my work when Iran becomes a democracy, which is what the Iranian people want. And I am in touch with my colleagues every day. Some of them have been released, have had their sentences ended. They're out of prison now, and we are together collaborating. And one good news, my deputy in my NGO, which is 20 years after me, she won the Nobel Peace Prize as well. And that was slap in the face of the Islamic Republic of Iran. 2 female laureates from the country. You thought you can silence me? Not only I did not become silenced, my deputy, my NGO, also became a Nobel laureate. This shows the power and strength of Iranian women. We will not be silenced. We don't want much. All we want is human dignity. We want laws that are compatible with our culture. We want people not to be hungry. We don't want people looking in garbage cans to find food. Stop the embezzlement in the country. In order to gain the support of the masses, the regime says, look, we are poor because of US sanctions, but that is not true. Look, corruption in Iran is sky high. Not to mention the wrong policies of the government. Who said that Iran has the duty to destroy Israel? Before coming here, last week I was in Jordan. I'd gone to Jordan to meet Palestinian feminists. I was there with my Nobel Women's Initiative, which is an NGO I was one of the founders of. And I said to Palestinian people, again, as I've said in the past, look, the hearts of the Iranian people are with you. Iranian people support you, but do not be deceived by the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran doesn't care for Palestine. They only want to pursue their political ambitions. The Islamic Republic of Iran is abusing the name of Islam, and it's also abusing the name of Palestine, exploiting it to their own ends. In the past 46 years, has the situation of the Palestinians improved thanks to the Islamic Republic of Iran? No, don't be deceived by that. Their wish is to become leaders of the Islamic world. They have delusions of grandeur, and because of that, they are destroying Iran. I'm sure you're aware about the problems they had with Trump, Donald Trump, and now look at what they're doing. They are taking part in talks with the United States. The first round of Iran-US talks, as you know, has taken place. The Iranian side is claiming the talks were indirect, and the US is saying, no, we have direct talks. But I can tell you, the problem of Iran will also be resolved is when people come to power and when we have democracy. It's only then that not only we will benefit, but the region will also benefit from a democracy in Iran. You can be sure of that. Thank you very much for having given me time to speak.
So, Honorable Dr. Shirin Ebadi, your life work is truly inspiring, and women like Miss Lema Gubowi from Africa and all three of you show that how the women have fought for the justice. Even the man doesn't have so much courage, you know. And it shows that the woman's courage is no less than a man's courage, and you are a living example of that. Now we are going to release a peace charter, which will be the online, because of the shortage of time, we will not take the online. We will be releasing a peace charter, which is a love letter to humanity. And there are 12 points in the peace charter. So can we have the slides? Is it there? I can't see. Is it on? So the preamble is on, or what is on? Huh? The preamble or the number 1 point? Okay, I can see so the number 1 point is, in the peace charter, is justice and equality. Justice is a fundamental right that safeguards dignity for all. A just future belongs to those who uphold integrity, stand against oppression, and work for fairness. Then point number 2 is dialogue and cooperation. True peace thrives on open dialogue, trust, and cooperation. Strength is found in unity, respect, and the pursuit of fairness. Point number 3, education and empowerment. Knowledge is a guiding light that nurtures understanding, progress, and human equality. Education leads to justice and a brighter future. Point number 4 is freedom. Every individual has a right to live with dignity, dream without fear, and rise beyond oppression. Point number 5 of the peace charter is leadership and responsibility. True leadership unites, uplifts, and builds a world where justice, love, and peace prevail. The future belongs to those who choose wisdom over division. Point number 6 is compassion and action. Justice and peace are realized when love and compassion lead to action, protecting the vulnerable and ensuring no child is left behind. Point number 7, strength and resilience. True strength is the courage to rise, stand for justice, and seek truth against all odds. Peace is won by those who refuse to be silent. Point number 8 is unity and progress. Progress flourishes when diverse voices are heard, divisions are overcome, and dignity is upheld by the rule of law with respect, integrity, and love. Hope and healing. Peace is point number 9. Peace is not just the end of conflict, but the beginning of healing, justice, and dignity. The future belongs to those who transform pain into purpose and love into action. Point number 10 is diplomacy and resolution. Lasting peace is built on diplomacy over conflict, turning hope into harmony and fostering prosperity for all. Point number 11, human value as a foundation of inner peace. The 7 human values of gratitude, forgiveness, love, humility, giving, patience, and truth are the foundation of inner peace. And point number 12 is commitment to change. True change comes when courage overcomes fear, truth rises above repression, and people unite to shape a future of equality, love, and peace. So this is our commitment to action. We pledge to uphold these principles in our actions, policies, and advocacy. We will work to protect the vulnerable, promote fairness, and foster dialogue, to create a future where peace is not just an aspiration, but a lived reality for all. Through education, collaboration, and unwavering pursuit of justice, we dedicate ourselves to build a world where dignity, freedom, and harmony prevail. So we will just be releasing the peace charter. I request all the Nobel Peace Laureates to come on the stage. And we will just be putting us...
May we please kindly present tokens of love to each and every beautiful soul. At the same time, their journey has been nothing short of being a true hero. May we please put our hands together for Abde Sattar Ben Musa from Tunisia. Oh, first we're going to do the unveiling? Sure, the mementos, please, along with a lovely bouquet for mementos have already been presented to them. It's a lovely bouquet. Please put hands together for our educationist, Nobel Peace 2015, Hussein Abbasi. A lovely bouquet for Kailash Satyarthi, India, Nobel Peace Laureate 2014. His Excellency Lech Walesa, of former President Poland. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Honorable Lehman Gibovi. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause. Nobel Peace Laureate 2011, Honorable Lehman Gibovi. Mohammad Fadel Mahfoud, Tunisia, the Nobel Peace Laureate 2015. His Excellency, our President of Tunisian Order of Lawyers. Let's continue the applause for Professor Mohan Munasinghe, please. From Sri Lanka, the Nobel Peace Laureate 2007. Nadia Murad from Iraq, Nobel Peace Laureate 2018. Oh, we love the cheer. Vidit Bouchamawi from Tunisia, the Nobel Peace Laureate 2015. Congratulations and thank you so much, Vidit Bouchamawi. Ladies and gentlemen, and Shireen Ibadi from Iran, the social activist, the judge and the Nobel Peace Laureate 2003. Thank you so much, one and all. Wow, come on everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, honored awardees, and cherished friends, a very good evening. After what has turned to be an absolute impact-worthy session, it is now time for the awards. Tonight, under this roof of unity and shared purpose, we gather to celebrate the Irene Awards, named after the Greek goddess of peace, bestowed upon those whose lives reflect her legacy. This ceremony is not just a conclusion, it is a consecration, a moment to honor one among all of us who have turned compassion into courage and vision into action. Tonight, we not only celebrate their achievements, we affirm our own commitments, the gratefulness that will guide our leadership. Let the Irene Awards be more than just recognition. Let them be a reminder that peace begins with people and that each of us in our own way is called to rise.
Wow, we are all truly overwhelmed, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize the outstanding contributions in the area of justice, peace, and love across various professions. So are we all ready as we celebrate the success of our recipients? And success is not just merely for them, but for the society and for humanity at large. Ladies and gentlemen, justice, love, and peace. And ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly request you all to please take your seats. We're very excited and thrilled about our prestigious Erin Awards. And I'm going to please ask my lovely co-host, Enid, and myself, Simran, are very excited to let you know a little bit about the Erin Awards. What does this word mean? Wow.
So Erin is the name of a Greek goddess, and this beautiful and powerful Greek goddess stood for peace. So today's awards were particularly curated based on the theme of the Greek goddess Erin, who embodies peace, stands for justice, and is the powerhouse of love. And therefore, we came up with the theme of the Erin Awards.
Isn't this interesting and something very close to our hearts and souls? Wow, what a beautiful feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly request you all to take your seats as we shall, please once again, request all our Nobel Peace Laureates to kindly join us here on stage to do the honors of presenting our prestigious Erin Awards for the very first time. The name itself is so significant. At the same time, this is for the true heroes of humanity. Gives us a huge honor to felicitate all of them. May we please welcome all our Nobel Peace Laureates in the room here on stage to do the honors, along with our living legend. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kindly request you all that we'll be open for the photo ops in a while from now. A humble request to all of you to kindly take your seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're about to begin the Erin Awards. I'm going to kindly request you, allow us some time. We just have few minutes, please. It's a humble request because we have the Erin Awards. It's just super few minutes, please. Just few minutes, please. I'm going to kindly request you all to take your seats.
After the ceremony. Everybody, please sit down. Sit down, everybody. We are doing the award ceremony. We request everybody to sit down on the stage. Not on the stage, sorry, in the audience. Everybody, please sit down because we are starting the award ceremony. And all the photographs you can take after the award ceremony. Everybody take the photograph after the award ceremony. There are very many lovely awardees. They will have nice photograph with them. Everybody please sit down, sit down. Sit down, no photographs. I request no photographs. Everybody please sit down, sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
A humble request
yes,
to all of you.
Yes, a humble request. Everybody sit down. We have to start the award ceremony. We are running late. So I request everybody to have a seat. And the awards will be starting. Let us start the awards. Thank you very much. And I thank you for your understanding.
Thank you very much. May we please invite all our Nobel Peace Laureates here on stage, along with
Dr. Habil Khorakiwala. May we please invite on stage all of the Nobel laureates that have graced us today. Could we please have the presence of Mr. Abdusattar bin Musa, Mr. Hussein Abbasi, Mr. Kailas Satyarthi, His Excellency President Lek Walesa, Madam Lema Roberta Gubowi, Mr. Mohammed Faddel Mattood, Professor Deshmanya Mohan, Ms. Nadia Murad, Mrs. Wida Bashamawi, Dr. Shireen Ibadi, please join us on stage. Dr. Habil Khorakiwala, please join us on stage. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight as we celebrate for all our recipients with their commitment 24/7 action towards justice, love, peace, and also the lifetime achievements in these fields. Each nominee has demonstrated a significant impact, but our winners were chosen based on the stringent set of 7 criteria: scale, impact, longevity, innovation, sustainability, integrity, and courage. Furthermore, our Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit Award nominees underwent an additional layer of scrutiny, ensuring that our final Erin Award winners embody the highest standard of excellence.
And with that, we are now ready to begin the Erin Awards. The Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit has curated a list of award winners. We are going to begin with the Justice Awards of this evening, handed out by our dear Nobel laureates, the first recipient of an award this evening. With a round of applause, may I request on stage Dame Marlene Murphy, receiving the Excellence in Human Rights Advocacy Justice Award. Could we please give a huge round of applause? Winner, Emirates Women Awards 2022 Culture and Arts, President of Philippines Partnership Circle, recipient International Award of Global Excellence, and the list goes on. Receiving on behalf of Dame Marlene Murphy. Many congratulations, madam. Well deserved, and I hope we continue to follow your example. Thank you very, very much. We move on with the second award under Justice tonight, and for this, may I please request on stage Mr. Kareem Asad Ahmad Khan. Let's give Mr. Kareem a huge round of applause. You're receiving an award for exceptional public service in law. Truly, truly well deserved, and what a privilege it is to have you on stage with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we present the Justice Award for Gender Equality Champion. Please join me in congratulating our winner, Miss Poonam Chawla. Heartfelt congratulations to the lovely lady in red. You truly are magnificent. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a founder, Women Board of Directors, the Chief Visionary Officer, Women Board of Directors, and the Associate Publisher of 7 Dimensions Media. Also a mentor to aspiring female entrepreneurs and promoter of diversity and inclusion in business. Please join me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put hands together for Miss Poonam Chawla, the Erin Award winner for Justice. Thank you for the music.
I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive the Peace Award at the Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit. This recognition reinforces my belief in power of purpose-driven leadership to create a meaningful impact, especially when women are empowered to lead. Yeah, sure. I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to the organizers for this recognition, and a special thank to Dr. Habib and Dr. Josefa Korakiwala for this extraordinary vision. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kindly request all our recipients, we're going to have the media bites right after these prestigious awards. Please join us as we present the Erin Award for Justice, Global Innovative Legal Practice. May we please give it up for Mr. Nabi Badra. Heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Nabi Badra. Our living legend. Wondrous congratulations to you, respected sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the founding partner, MEG Legal Services Dubai, the authorized barrister in Dubai since 1984. He mentors young lawyers on importance of ethics and service. His expertise in civil, commercial, and criminal law, and a specialist in real estate and Islamic law. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put hands together one more time and give it up for Mr. Nabi Badra. Thank you, dear sir.
And for our next award, in the category of Justice for Guardian of Wellness. With a huge round of applause, may I please invite on stage.
It is a request, sincere request. We are running late of time. We really love all our awardees. We honor all our awardees. But unfortunately, we will have the media bite of the awardees after the event. We cannot take it now because there are 25 awards. And I'm really sorry that I cannot allow all the awardees to give an acceptance speech. So I'm really sorry for you. We will be taking your special media bite in the green room over there back. Okay, thank you. I'm really sorry, sir. We cannot do this because we are running late, sir. Sir, I'm really sorry. If 25 people take 3 minutes, it is 1.5 hours. My Nobel Peace winners have been... in the media room. He will get a media bite in the media room. Just request him that 25 winners and our Nobel Peace are very tired. They have traveled from outside.
Humble thanks to you, Shukran, sir.
Thank you very much for those kind words. I'm sure if we had more time, we'd love to continue listening to you. Apologies for the rushed schedule. We'll move on to the next award, and this is going out to the Guardian of Wellness. With a lot of privilege, I would like to invite Her Excellency Dr. Manal Omran Taryam on stage. Could we please give Dr. Manal a huge round of applause, the recipient of the Sheikh Rashid Award for Academic Excellence, recognized with Dubai Government Excellence Award, the CEO, Primary Healthcare Services, CEO and board member of Noor Dubai Foundation, advocate for global blindness prevention, a member of the Dubai Disability Strategy Task Force. What a long list of accolades and such proud ones. Huge congratulations to Her Excellency Dr. Manal Omran Taryam. Really, really well done, and it is an honor to have you. Our next award is going out to a woman in law, Her Excellency Dr. Fatou Bensouda. Unfortunately, due to her personal demise, she couldn't be here. Our prayers go out to her family. May I please request on stage Mr. Mustafa NG to do us the great honor of receiving this amazing award, the Justice Award for World Woman in Law. Dr. Fatou Bensouda. I truly hope she gets a video bite of this later so she can celebrate. For now, thank you, Mr. Mustafa NG, for doing us the honors.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we come to the Erin Award for Love, presenting the Love Bridge of Hope. Please join me in congratulating Her Excellency Hureya Ahmad Al-Mari. Lovely congratulations to Her Excellency Hureya Ahmad Al-Mari for her initiatives focused on early detection and providing resources. Advocate for congenital heart disease awareness. Organizer of community health initiatives. Work is pivotal in fostering a supportive environment for patients. Advocating the advancement in cardiac health care and the promoter of early detection programs. Ladies and gentlemen, as we present the Erin Love, the Bridge of Hope, to Your Excellency Hureya Ahmad Al-Mari, presenting the Love International Feeding the Poor Erin Award. And it goes to Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Al-Hajj Al-Zaruni. Huge congratulations to Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Al-Hajj Al-Zaruni, the Director of Emirates Red Crescent Authority, Dubai, the leader in humanitarian relief operations worldwide, coordinator of disaster response initiatives, and the promoter of community development programs, the advocate for volunteerism and civil engagement, and a supporter of sustainable humanitarian solutions. Many, many congratulations. One more time, maybe please give it up for Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Al-Hajj Al-Zaruni, sir. Truly well deserved, yes, sir.
Our next award is for Love Thy Neighborhood Award, and this one goes to none other than Miss Maggie Doyne. Please welcome on stage Miss Maggie Doyne with a huge round of applause. She founded Blink Now Foundation to help vulnerable children, established the Kopila Valley Children's Home in Nepal, empowers local communities through sustainability initiatives, CNN Hero of the Year 2015, Forbes 30 Under 30, Social Entrepreneur Honoree, Cosmopolitan Fun Fearless Female Award 2014, and she aims to build a sustainable future through local solutions. Really fantastic list of accolades there. Huge congratulations to Miss Maggie Doyne. We'll move on to our next awardee, and for this, may I please invite on stage with a massive round of applause, Dr. Alfredo Juan Spiriunes. Let's please give Dr. Alfredo a big round of applause to welcome him on stage. You are being awarded Love Thy Planet Award.
Wow, wonderful.
The first environmental economist at the World Bank, 1976. Directed World Bank office in Geneva. Peace Ambassador Award 2006. Planetary Healer Award 2020. Advocates of integrating spirituality in public policy. Promote sustainability, human rights, and holistic economics are few amongst many of his accolades.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Erin Award for Love, the World Animal Lover Award. This is very special. Please join me as we like to welcome our recipient with a loud cheer and an applause. Let's give it up for Dr. Jane Goodall, Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, the recipient of Love, the World Animal Lover Award, conducted groundbreaking research on chimpanzee behavior, awarded the UN Messenger of Peace for promoting environmental awareness. Amazing congratulations to Dr. Jane Goodall, DBE, the Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Love, World Disabilities. Oh, wonderful. Wow, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, on her behalf, may we please welcome ma'am to kindly join us here on stage and receive the award on behalf of Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Dr. Jane Goodall, who conducted groundbreaking research on chimpanzee behavior, awarded UN Messenger of Peace for promoting environmental awareness, received Templeton Prize in 2021 for integrating science and spirituality in conservation, and founded the Jane Goodall Institute for Primate Conservation. Ladies and gentlemen, she advocates for habitat protection and sustainable practices. May we please once again put our hands together for Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Dr. Jane Goodall. And continue the applause as we present the Love, World Disabilities Samaritan Award. Any guesses? Well, maybe open hands together for Miss Amal Galal Sabri, the recipient of Love, World Disability Samaritan award here at our prestigious Erin Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a recipient of the Emirates Women of the Year Humanitarian Award 2016 and the pioneer in autism support services in the UAE, the managing director of Emirates Autism Center and the advocate for autism awareness and support. She's the recipient. Oh, we have the beautiful golden lady. Wow. The recipient of the Emirates Women of the Year Humanitarian 2016 and the collaborator with healthcare professionals and educator, the supporter of inclusive community initiatives. May we please give her a loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amal Galal Sabri. Lovely congratulations to the gorgeous lady.
We now move on to the next award, and this, might I please ask that your applause be much louder than they were before. A truly special award for a truly special person. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the future looking at us right in the face. The Little Light of Love Award goes to, with a loud round of applause, Miss Kiara Kaur. Prodigy Award 2022, Speaker at the United Nations Events on Girls' Rights, Child Prodigy and Global Speaker, recipient of the Global Child Prodigy Award 2022, the youngest TEDx speaker at the age of 5, the advocate for girls' rights and the education, speaker at the United Nations Events, promoter of early childhood literacy, inspirational figure for our young learners worldwide, and truly an absolute inspiration for all of us in this room and outside today. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kiara Kaur. Let's give her a massive, massive round of applause. Very, very well deserved, Kiara. Thank you all for that support and that cheer. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Ms. Kaur, we're not doing speeches at the moment, but we will definitely record your speech backstage. We'd now like to swiftly move on to the Peace Awards of the evening, and I promise you we have a few more to go. Very few. The next award we're giving out is for the Deep Forgiveness Award. And for this, with a round of applause, may we please invite her on stage. Thank you, Ms. Kaur. Once again, we now begin the Peace Awards. The first Peace Award for Deep Forgiveness goes out to Mr. Thomas J. Gallagher, the President Author, Junior of Gallagher and Company. Could we please have Mr. Thomas J. Gallagher on stage? Leader in global insurance brokerage services, advocate for ethical business practices, the supporter of corporate social responsibility initiatives, promoter of employee development programs, collaborator with the non-profit organizations contributing to community outreach projects. Once again, Mr. Thomas J. Gallagher.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the Peace Global Non-Violence Award. And the recipient is Mr. Alvaro Balendia Ortiz. Many, many congratulations to Mr. Alvaro Balendia Ortiz. Universidad Sergio Arboleda, Bogota, Colombia. Professor, Universidad Sergio Arboleda, qualified PhD in audiovisual communication, and projects highlight experiences of marginalized communities. He's the director of transmedia narrated projects and also a published author on media and conflict. Congratulations, Mr. Alvaro Balendia Ortiz. Ladies and gentlemen, we all love to travel, but this one's for the peace global traveler with a purpose. Please put your hands together as we like to invite Major Levison James Wood, the recipient of the Erin Award. Major Levison James Wood, ladies and gentlemen, the UNICEF ambassador, supports global humanitarian efforts, awarded military service honors for Afghanistan deployment, fellow of the Royal Geographical Society. He's the Chancellor of Staffordshire University and promotes education. He's the best-selling author of multiple travel and adventure books. Once again, maybe please give it up for Major Levison James Wood.
We have a couple more Peace Awards to give out, and for this one, may I please invite on stage our next awardee, Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf. Can we give him a round of applause, please? You're receiving the award for Interfaith Dialogue Champion. What an incredible award to be receiving. This goes to Mr. Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf, the founder of the Cordoba Initiative for Religious Harmony, speaker at the UN and Global Interfaith Forums. He works with global leaders on religious diplomacy, led Park 51 project to foster interfaith cooperation, the author of books addressing misconceptions about Islam. Many congratulations and very, very well deserved, Mr. Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf. Our next awardee coming up on stage, the Livelihood Enhancer. And this Peace Award goes to Dr. Salim Al-Khedbi. Let's please give Dr. Salim Al-Khedbi a big round of applause. He works and addresses topics related to governance and human rights, one that we all know is not easy. Advocates for freedom of expression and public dialogue. Emirati political analyst and researcher. Member, International Federation of Journalists. A former UAE Federal National Council candidate. He aims to promote transparency and accountability. Dr. Salim Al-Khedbi.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Peace, the Serenity Catalyst Award. Please put your hands together as we invite our recipient, Mr. Mohammed Amir bin Amin Saeed. Magnificent congratulations to Mr. Mohammed Amir bin Amin Saeed, the pioneer in holistic wellness, focusing on preventive healthcare. Founder, Zoya Health and Wellbeing Resort, offers programs that integrate physical, mental and emotional health practices, aims to educate individuals on importance of lifestyle choices in disease prevention. Congratulations, dear sir, Mr. Mohammed Amir bin Amin Saeed, presenting the World Peace Organization Award. May we please welcome Dr. Markande Rai. Many congratulations to Dr. Markande Rai, honored with Hind Ratan Award in 2006, the Global Peace Federation Ambassador for Peace, the Senior Advisor at UN Habitat for Global Urban Development, promotes public health and medical advancements, recognized for contributions to global peace and sustainability, and supports education and gender equality initiatives. May we please give a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Dr. Markande Rai. And now, this one's very, very special. We are truly excited, ladies and gentlemen, as we present the Lifetime Achievement Awards, and we have with us Dr. Huzefa Khorakiwala to kindly join everyone.
The Lifetime Achievements Award, ladies and gentlemen, are truly, truly special, as you've seen. These particular awards embody in entirety the community and especially the awardees' contributions to justice, peace, love, and more. The first Lifetime Achievement Award for the evening goes to... Please welcome on stage Mr. Ahmed Al-Falasi. This Lifetime Achievement Award is for the category of love. The recipient, Mr. Al-Falasi, has received the Arab Hope Makers Award 2020, committed to humanitarian efforts throughout his foundation, a philanthropist and humanitarian leader, advocate for youth empowerment and supporter of educational initiatives. He's played a significant role in fostering hope and improving lives. Mr. Ahmed Al-Falasi. The next Lifetime Award for Justice, and the recipient is Mr. Muhammad Al-Dharif Al-Shah. Can we please give Mr. Al-Shah a huge round of applause? He has dedicated the research and development of medical botany, focuses on the integration of traditional plant-based remedies into modern healthcare. Developer of herbal preparations, he aims to contribute to both public health and ecological balance. Supporter of biodiversity preservation, the promoter of traditional medicine integration. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lifetime Achievement Award for Justice goes to Muhammad Al-Dharif Al-Shah. Huge congratulations, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Lifetime Achievement for Love. Please join us in congratulating Dr. Nadia Khalil Al-Sayed for the... Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nadia Khalil Al-Sayed for the Lifetime Achievement with Love. Let's continue the applause for the very beautiful lady inside out. The recipient of Vocational Service Award, Rotary Club of Jumeirah. The founder, Census Residential and Daycare for Special Needs. The advocate for people of determination. Established a facility that offers educational and therapeutic services. A supporter of family and caregiver resources. Thank you and congratulations for the Lifetime Achievement, Love. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to our next award, and this one's for the Lifetime Achievement Erin Award for Peace. Please put your hands together for our recipient, Mr. Hussein Ali Al-Jaziri, the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement for Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, the District Governor, Rotary International District 2452, the President of Alliance Franchise Dubai, the Honorary President, French Business Council, advocate for legal and cultural exchange, and the supporter of community development initiatives, promoter of international collaboration, the senior partner, Jafar Alwan Al-Jaziri and Associates. May we please put our hands together and give it up one more time for the Lifetime Achievement for Peace. Our Erin Award to Mr. Hussein Ali Al-Jaziri. Wow, we're very excited.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the final award of the night.
Enid, now what is that we're looking forward to be done with justice, peace, and love? And which one's our last recipient for the Lifetime Achievement Award?
I think this award needs to be a big one. This is going to be given out to somebody, a personality that embodies what our entire 2 days of summit was about. Every speech that's been shared on this platform, every topic, every controversial question has been discussed here. This recipient embodies that strength and that power.
Wow. So all our values that we believe in, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our Lifetime Achievement for overall. This is truly magnificent. So are we ready? Should we do this together?
I think we should, and I think our audience is anticipating a quick delivery.
So let's go.
So let's go. Our award recipient tonight is His Excellency Dr. Obaid Al-Hiri Salim Al-Khedbi.
Magnificent. Congratulations.
His Excellency Dr. Obaid Al-Hiri
Salim Al-Khedbi.
Chairman Bin Farhood International Business Management Group.
Has a distinguished career in both governmental and business sectors.
Leadership roles encompass security, diplomacy, and economic development.
Commitment to public service and strategic planning.
Mr. Al-Khedbi has been the ambassador UAE to Australia
and the Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, Military and Security Affairs.
And today's award, of course, has a lasting impact on UAE's growth and global standing in its future.
Wow. May we please request you all to kindly rise and put your hands together for the overall Lifetime Achievement Erin Award. His Excellency Dr. Obaid Al-Hiri Salim Al-Khedbi. Wow.
It is a moment of saying thank you very much for this award. And before really I just talk about the award briefly, I would love to thank you for organizing this event. This is it's an amazing event. UAE is always a place of peace and tolerance. I think this first edition of this award or this conference it's very successful, and hopefully that we see more of the same events in the future. This award really not only for me as a person. UAE, as you know, plays a huge role in the world, especially when we talk about humanity. I think UAE ranked #1 worldwide when it comes to peace, support, and tolerance. This is a gift. Came because of the support of my government and different roles I played in my life, and also my family, great, role in supporting me in every step on this life. Thank you so much for His Excellency Awad for this nominee, and thank you for you all, and wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special video, I Love My Family. Let's take a look at the audio visual. This is beautiful. By the way, you are all our family of global justice, love and peace. Let's check this out.
I request all the Khurakiwala family, the Master family and Latif family to come on the stage. I request everyone to come on the stage.
The beautiful family, the beautiful souls of the Khurakiwala family to kindly join us here on stage. Heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for putting your heart and soul and for coming up with our prestigious Global Justice, Love and Peace Summit here at Dubai. May we have the entire Khorakiwala, the very beautiful family here on stage, please. May we please have the song, I Love My Family. The entire family, please. We also have the very two young stars who've joined us here from the United States. Thank you.
I may fall outside, but in Europe, there's no failure. You just know it without being told that, hey, you are loved for sure. This is my family. Oh, yeah. I know it will never tire. Hard and long the way may be. To walk with me the path entire. This is my family. Oh, yeah. I love my family. So I wanted to give a vote of thanks, number one, to my family for this excellent, that they have come up for this event. All of them attended for the 2 days. They supported me during the summit. So thank you to my respected father, Dr. Habil Khorakiwala, Nafisa Khorakiwala, wife, children, brother, sister, all my family. Thank you very much. Now we will take a group photograph, and then I would request we'll play the One Heart song where all the organizers will come on the stage.
And that for you, ladies and gentlemen, the Khorakiwala family. Can we please give this beautiful family a huge round of applause? They have a united cause, and look how that family keeps growing.
So that was, we took the photo, right? We didn't take?
And at this point, I'd like to make a humble request. While the Khorakiwala family goes down, I think it is unfair for us to end what has been a curation of many, many, many months, many hours, many sleepless nights. Could we please give Dr. Josefa Khorakiwala an individual round of applause for his vision, his dedication, his commitment. A big round of applause for Dr. Khorakiwala.
Good evening to everyone. Assalam to everyone. Namaste. I am just the face of the summit. Somebody else is the eye, somebody is the hand, somebody is the leg. I am just the face of the summit. I would request all the other members who have helped in organizing this event, please come on the stage, everybody. Rajesh, Farat, Dharam, Hiren, and all the members who have Tezun, Nikunj, and all the people who have done Simran. I will miss out some names, but everybody who has helped in Bindu, Prajeep, all the people helped in organizing the event. Don't feel shy standing next to me. Please, I'm not your boss anymore. The event is over, summit is over. I'm not your boss. So stand next to me. Yeah, Samina, come. Yes. So everybody come on stage. Whoever has helped in the organizing the event, please come on. And we will sing the song One Heart. One Heart song is there. Yes.
Hear the children crying.
Dr. Mona, where are you? Dr. Mona. Dr. Mona, where is she? Come. Anybody else is missing, please come up. Anybody missing, come up. Where is Ambassador Titus? Ambassador Titus. And where is Jason? Jason, yes.
As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. All right. Dance and praise to the Lord, and I will feel all right.
Mr. Santosh Sawant, Hiren.
Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place.
You can put the music a little higher, slightly higher the music.
One love. What about the one love? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm playing to mankind. One love. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. One love. What about the one love? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm playing to
We would like to thank Mr. Jafar Sura, who has designed these lovely trophies. Mr. Jafar Sura, thank you very much.
hear the children crying.
I think this is the perfect timing for a quick cheer from all the team. What a successful 2 days of event. Can we have 3 cheers? Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic 2-day summit it's been. The global.
Come on the stage.
I was there, sir.
Yeah.
I don't have a mic though.
All right. Now what we can do is, I will not tell the people who have done, because if I miss out somebody, there are a lot of people over here. I just want to thank you from my bottom of my heart that you all have done a wonderful job. We have done the summit. It was the summit was conceptualized on October 6th. Within 7 months, you have done the summit. You have got 10 Nobel Prize winners. You have got the religious heads, and we have done interfaith dialogue in the UAE, in the Dubai. And this has happened because of the real hard work that you have put in. And I'm sorry, at times I've been a very tough boss on all of you, but this was required. This was required, and you have worked very hard for it. Thank you very much. And I want to thank Sheikh Awad. Sheikh Awad, please stand up, please. You have been the backbone of this. You have connected us with all the UAE government, everybody. Thank you, Sheikh Awad. And I would like to thank the two main pillars of this conference, Rajesh and Farhat, who have done excellent work in the summit. I would like to thank my wife Samina, and I would like to thank Dharam, who got both the chief guests. He got Dharam. Well done, Dharam. And he has done wonderful job. Hiren has done wonderful job. Bindu, Pradeep have done wonderful job. And all the people standing over here have done a wonderful job. I cannot take all the names. Thank you very much. And we will, this is the start of the I Am Peacekeeper movement. And God willing, this movement will go ahead. And now, what is the next? Now, I think the dinner is waiting for you. So, please go and have a lovely dinner. Please meet the lovely awardees who have come. And I welcome you to the dinner, and thank you for all coming and gracing this occasion. Thank you very much.
Hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind. Just
Francisca from Colombia will be singing a lovely song. Some of you can listen, some of you can have dinner, but she is going to sing a lovely song. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the man of the hour. Dinner is now open.
You.
However, we've got lovely Francesca.
Hi, I'm Francisca from Chile, and I will have the honor to sing this love song, Where Would We Be Without Love, from Chile in Spanish for all of you. Yeah. You want to start now? Yeah. Yes. Congratulations to everybody for this amazing summit. Hope you enjoy this song. It's in Spanish, but music is the sound of love, so I'm sure everybody will understand. Where would we be without love? Tengo que decirte cosas de esas que yo sé van a doler bastante. Tengo que apagar la luz para mirar la luna y encontrar respuestas. Tengo que cerrar los ojos, sentir mi respirar o darle tiempo al tiempo. O tengo que dejar de amarte para que así por fin te enteres que te amo. ¿A dónde va el amor cuando se va, cuando se esconde? ¿Y a dónde, dime dónde voy a ocultarme yo cuando no sientas eso? Eso que se llama amor, que te da por momentos como un soplito de viento. ¿A dónde va el amor si por casualidad alguna vez me amaste? Siento que me abraza tu calor cuando no estamos juntos. ¿Por qué razón, pregunto yo, mi mundo cabe en el segundo en que me miras? ¿Por qué cuando comienzo a hablar sabes lo que diré con tan solo mirarme? ¿Por qué cuando quiero olvidarte en el mismo segundo comienzo a extrañarte? ¿A dónde va el amor cuando se va, cuando se esconde? ¿Y a dónde, dime dónde voy a ocultarme yo cuando no sientas eso? Eso que se llama amor, que te da por momentos como un soplito de viento. ¿A dónde va el amor si por casualidad? Cuando se esconde, y a dónde, dime dónde voy a ocultarme yo cuando no sientas eso. Eso que se llama amor, que te da por momentos como un soplito de viento. ¿A dónde va el amor si por casualidad? ¿A dónde va el amor si por casualidad? Congratulations, thank you. Where would we be without love?
I love the song, the rhythm of the song.
very
What
famous.
does bailamos?
Huh?
What does bailamos mean?
Bailam?
Yeah. Bailamos.
Ah, no, I said, ¿a dónde baila amor? Where does love go? ¿A dónde baila amor? Where is love going?
What does bailamos mean?
Let's dance.
Ah, okay. Because bailamos.
Tell them to message me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.